We want our children to have a future, a safe future. Not a problem in the street, but do we have fentanyl killing 300 of our kids every single day? Why isn't that a crisis? Why isn't that the administration waking up? Because every day we bring it forth, and we will do that in the majority. We've got time for one more question. Who's got a question? Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Dr. James Nelson, pastor of New Birth Ministries, and we're looking for a new birth in America from you. I'm one of the millions in this country who may not have a mega hat, but I have a mega heart. And my heart tells me that this country will never be great again until we make it God's again. I served in the United States Air Force. I had 3 brothers that served in the military. And I put on the uniform of a law enforcement officer. With my brothers and sisters in blue, I know what it's like to face the condemnation and the dangers of going out every single day. And as a black man, I know what it's like to be a black police officer, so I got it double. My very first call was shots fired. And as I was going towards that call and everybody else was going in the opposite direction, what went through my mind was what's going to happen to my wife if something goes south. But I knew that there were some who didn't care what happened to my wife because they were the same ones who didn't care what happened to me. But I was willing to get hurt to keep others from being hurt. And I still feel that same way today. As a retired law enforcement officer, because God got me through, I've had to arrest United States citizens for having illegally entered into a building and then told to release non-citizens who had illegally entered my country. As a Christian with a constitutional guarantee to freedom of speech, I was invited by the state reps to pray at the state capitol, but cautioned not to mention the name of Jesus. I have administered Narcan and performed CPR on those who fight an uphill battle with opioids, and I've preached and attended the funerals of those who lost that battle. I'm at the mercy of politicians who boast on one end that they're taking criminals off the street, though they've never made an arrest, and other politicians who say that we'll be more safe with criminals on the street. And what I would like to know is this from this committee and from the leaders of my country: just what will the commitment to America do to address these concerns?
Great question. Before we turn to the answer, thank you for your service to our country. Thank you for your service as an officer. Thank you for your question. I'm going to turn to the member who's right here, right at home, Guy.
Thanks, Leader. I appreciate it. And thanks, Reverend, for the question. As you know, and many know, I've seen the criminal justice system from a lot of different angles. I prosecuted terrorists in Iraq. I defended sailors, Marines, SEALs in military courtrooms all over the United States and back in Baghdad. And then I became a district judge about a year after I got separated from the Navy. So I've seen this from all angles. And I can tell you that crime is on the rise. If you look at the numbers, it's staggering. You've got murder rates in Philadelphia that were literally the highest rates ever in 2021. And the rates this year, they're on track now to have more homicides in Philadelphia than ever before. That's the path. In Pittsburgh, you have roughly a 1 in 135 chance of getting killed downtown. This is a mess. But we got to look at what got us here. And I can tell you, it's defunding the police. And it's amazing that in 2020, that whole summer, and then in 2021, we were told that we needed to defund the police, that police were the problem. So the Democrats did that. They defunded the police. You look at New York City, they cut $1 billion, not a million, $1 billion with a B, $1 billion from their police budget. Crime rate soared. LA cut money. Seattle, Portland, all these municipalities, all these cities cut their police budget, reduced the amount of police on the street, and crime rate went up as the funds went down. So one thing we have to do, and what's in the commitment to America, is we want to make sure that we fund police, that we add 200,000 police officers to the streets to make sure that crime is coming down. So that's part of it. Another thing, and I can tell you because I used to set bail and pretrial confinement, we have to seriously look at bringing back cash bail and making sure that prosecutors and woke DAs who refuse to prosecute, who refuse to ask for pretrial detention, they need to be held accountable. Because too many people are being released on pretrial confinement. I can tell you, having been a district judge, there's only two reasons why you release, or there's two reasons why you keep somebody. One, they're a flight risk, or two, they're a danger to the community. And I can tell you, if you're accused of murder or an other heinous act, you should not be released back onto the streets. And that's something we've got to take a look at. So that's just some of the things we're going to do to make sure that we're making America safe in the commitment to America. So thanks for the question. Look, I know we're running out of time. I just want to thank everybody again. I want to turn it over to once again to the future Speaker of the House, my good friend Kevin McCarthy, to close us out.
Well, I want to thank you. I hope we've spent a little time talking about the commitment to America, taking on your questions. If you support this plan for a new direction in this nation, join with us. Everybody across this country. This isn't about a party. This is about our nation. This is a moment in time that we'll look back and make sure the next century is the American century. Thank you all, and God bless.